Well, that was the longest night of my life. I don't know about you guys. Why was that the slowest episode I've ever seen? It was like I was expecting so much more from everyone, and no one represented tonight. Except Carly. She represented. Let's start at the beginning. I mean, the Kelsey interview was so anticlimactic. I was really, truly hoping that we were going to get like some really good, positive, like encouragement that maybe she's not as crazy as she really is, or that it was going to be something opposite, like it was going to validate how crazy she is. It really was just like recapping what we've already seen. It wasn't anything really, I don't know. I am interested to see how it goes on Women Tell All. And I wonder if she'll even show up. Anyway, moving on, the Andy interview was so sad. It made me so sad. It was really hard to watch, and it was really raw and emotional, and you can tell that she really, really is hurting, and I just feel sad for her. It's really hard going through like a public breakup. And mine is nothing compared to what she has had to go through, but my heart just goes out to her. It's just sad, 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 hard to watch. And it's real. It's very real emotions that she's feeling, and I think that's very clear. And it's just interesting because we still don't really know why they broke up. And again, it's like really no one's business. And if she chooses to share that, then that's her choice. And, a lot of times, like for me and Cody, there really wasn't anything in particular that happened. It's either there or it's not there. And maybe that's all there really is to it. But I thought it was nice to get a little glimpse into her, where she's at with everything right now. And I just loved how Chris was so supportive to her, and Chris is such an amazing guy, you guys. He's such a great friend. He's a great supportive person to have in this crazy process. And I just love how there he was for Andy, and the things he said were very reassuring. And shout out to Harrison, Anyway. Then what happened? I don't know. There was like recapping of past girls and whatever. I swear we just watched them like 2 episodes ago, but I guess we're recapping them now. Blah, blah. I don't even remember. Moving on. And then everyone goes to Iowa. First of all, I would like to say, when Cody was training Chris out in Iowa, I went out to visit Cody. And I've been to where the girls are at. And it's not that bad. Like it's very, very small, but they made it look completely like desolate. And it's not quite that bad. It's bad, but it's not quite that bad. But it really is the most beautiful land. It's so incredible. And Chris's house is awesome. And the towns are sweet and charming, but I will tell you right now, I could never do it. Ain't no way. Ain't no how. I just couldn't. So it's interesting to see, to know where these girls are and know what they're experiencing, and to be able to kind of see their side of things a little bit more clearly is really interesting. But I think that the dynamic between Britt and Carly is really interesting, because I think it's a combination of a few things. I will say this. I remember when I was on my season, when you're to this point in the show, like, you are so confused. It is such a mind trip, you guys. It is so, you can't explain it to anyone. So it's really interesting as I see Carly kind of break down and become super insecure about Britt. It's like, I've been there. And so it's easy to look at Carly and say, she's just jealous. She's saying all these negative things about Britt because she's totally jealous and insecure. And the answer is yes, she is. Everyone is. you feel this big. Like you feel every single move that Chris is making, everyone is reading into it so much more than they need to. But I do think that Carly brings up some really interesting points as far as, the comments that we've seen Brittany say, the comments that we've seen Britt say. I don't know, is it Brittany? Anyway, the comments that we've seen her say. I know just keep in mind, there's a lot of conversations you don't see. But the ones that we have seen and witnessed are a little confusing. I do think there is something to be said. It's hard for me to give these playbacks because I know that there's so much that we're not getting. I know there's so much we're not seeing. But I do know that when most of the girls don't like a certain girl, that means something. The girls that are around each other all day, every day, if the majority of those girls are not liking a particular girl, there's usually a reason for that. And it's usually more than just jealousy or something. And so that's something to look into. So when I hear Caitlyn and Carly, and even Whitney and, the other girls mention stuff about Britt, it does make you kind of question if maybe, the things that we aren't seeing are consistent with what we are seeing. So, I want to just bring up quickly the conversation that Britt had with Chris in front of the girls when Caitlyn got the rose. It's funny because I feel like those are very normal feelings to have. Like that, I feel like it's almost weird to not feel that way and feel like I totally see where Britt's coming from. 100%. Like when you're getting ready to have someone meet your family, those are really, really big steps you make in a relationship, and you want to feel totally 100% like that person is dying to meet your family. And it's so hard to separate that emotion with the fact that you're on The Bachelor and those things are going to happen. And, you're entitled to feel however you want, but that also is part of the process. And so it was an interesting moment to see Britt truly process her emotions vocally, which is something I do a lot too. And then you backpedal and wish you wouldn't have done that. But anyway, just keep in mind though that the feelings that Britt is portraying, the feelings that she's portraying are very real feelings. And I think that it's almost, I like when people can just be open and real. And that's how she was really feeling, and I respect it. And, was it the right time or place? I don't know. Maybe. Who's to say that? I don't know. I just think that I see where she's coming from. And I actually probably would have done the same thing too, because that's just kind of how I am too. And you know what? It is a little bit of an ego thing. It's definitely something where it's like, yeah, it's a lot of it is ego, and it's hard. But because when you're in that position, you feel so small, you feel so insecure, you feel so insignificant, and it's so hard to battle that all day, every day. So anyway, I see where she's coming from, to be honest with you, but I also see why that could end up working against her. So I just found myself, when I was watching Britt, being like, I can totally see me responding that way too. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I can understand that. And I can see how she would be feeling that way. So I'm so interested to see how tomorrow goes. I really hope that the longest episode of Bachelor history that I watched tonight, and I kind of regret it and wish I could get the last 2 hours of my life back, I think it was worth it for the preparation that is about to be unveiled tomorrow. I'm hoping. From the previews, it's really looking like it's going to be a good episode. So that's all I got for you guys. I really don't know how I feel about Jade posing in Playboy. She obviously knew that it was going to be public knowledge, which makes me actually really respect her, because I think it's cool when people can go into a situation knowing that like their dirty laundry is going to be aired out and they still can just own it and move forward and not let their past dictate their future. And I think that's cool. Anyway, I'm glad Caitlyn got the rose. I love Caitlyn. I'm excited to see more of her. And I thought Whitney's date was cute. There's something about her, I don't know. Stop. I don't know how I feel about Whitney. That's all I'm going to say about that. And I don't even know who Becca is. Has she even spoken? It's so weird. It's like all of a sudden there's this girl, Becca, and she's so cute. Like, I don't understand why she's not getting more airtime. And she looks just like Chris's sisters. It's weird. Anyway, I'm forgetting someone or something. All I know is that I know Britt's going to get a beating, but I'm telling you right now, you would be shocked at the way you act in a situation like that. You think that you would keep your composure and that you would be like, oh, I totally get it. Guess what? This show brings out the craziest emotions in you when you're watching it, let alone being on the show. You guys know what I mean. You guys know you've been saying crazy stuff that you would never say if you weren't watching the show. Imagine being on the show. You will find yourself doing and saying things that you never thought you'd ever do or say. If you'd like any references, you can go to Bachelor Season 15, Bachelor Pad Season 2, and Bachelor in Paradise for your own reference. Also, really quickly, for any of you guys who've been wanting to get the PMD, which is my favorite tool on planet Earth, wait till you see the kind of discount I'm offering on my blog this week. Stay tuned. You can get the PMD for an amazing price. So check my blog, www.michellemoney.com, like on Wednesday or something, Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm not sure yet. But if you've been wanting it, which if you don't have one, you're going to want one, stay tuned. I'm forgetting something else. Oh, check out the t-shirts that I did on my website too. They're super cute. And I love you guys. See you mañana. Bye-bye.